outside the loneliness of solo efforts and gets us connected to others who have common purposes, objectives, and beliefs. The opposite of altruism is narcissism. More narcissistic personality types have difficulty in groups because their tendencies are to frame everything that happens and everything that should happen around themselves. In Greek mythology, Narcissus was a handsome and conceited young man who spurned the advances of many, including the nymph Echo and the young man Amenias, to whom Narcissus gave a sword, telling Amenias to prove his love. Amenias, hurt in his pride, killed himself with the sword and cursed Narcissus, wishing that he would never possess the object of his love. One day Narcissus vowed to drink from a water fountain. Seeing his own face reflected in the water, he fell in love with it. Narcissus was so attracted to his own image that he frequently returned to the water fountain to contemplate himself. Thus he went on, languishing, until his death. Another version of the legend is that, seeing himself in the water, he tried to embrace his own image and drowned in the attempt. At that drowning site, according to the legend, a new flower sprouted that takes the name of its unhappy creator, the narcissus. Sigmund Freud added the term narcissism to the vocabulary of psychology to designate love of the self-image and the stage of development when a child makes his or her own self the main object of his or her love. These ideas have given rise to many studies that describe and analyze the distinct profile of the developmentally stunted narcissistic personality. According to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-4, of the American Psychiatric Association, narcissists are arrogant and conceited individuals who have magnificent fantasies about themselves. They overestimate their success, need to be constantly admired, and always expect preferential treatment. Narcissists are convinced that they deserve more than they receive. They are worried about looking good and keeping themselves young. They are insensitive to the needs and problems of other people. With little tolerance for criticism, they often react with fury to real or imaginary slights. They have never grown out of the stage when they believed the world revolved around them. The purpose of this book is not to facilitate a clinical, psychodiagnostic approach to work within teams at the workplace. We don't want you out there in teams labeling each other as narcissists. That is neither practical nor useful in any way. But here is a little early advance piece of advice for you about the makeup of teams and how to ensure that teams maintain the potential to be highly effective. Narcissists just do not make very good teammates. Later in this introduction, we provide more on this issue of the arrogance of separateness and focusing only on the personal issues of me and mine while attempting to work in teams. People styles. In previous books that we have written on being an effective boss, we explained how the human race seems to be rather equally divided among 4 people styles. 1. The highly assertive, highly responsive expressives. 2. The highly assertive but less responsive drivers. 3. The highly responsive but less assertive amiables. 4. The less assertive, less responsive analyticals. What tendencies do these personality types bring to teams? We believe that even in their purest form, which is rather rare as people tend to have a dominant style but blend in other styles at times, these people styles all work well in teams, provided the role to which they are assigned is largely synchronous with their people style. For example, a team's sales-oriented duties are the strength of expressives. Task leadership roles are consistent with the driver's people style. Team support-oriented duties are effectively carried out by amiables. And of course, analyticals are great in financial or pricing roles. Channeling team members to roles that match their people style can add significant efficiencies to teamwork, and, based on the success these efficiencies bring, can augment the trust established through allowing people to fulfill their role as defined by the group itself. More on this powerful practice in Chapter 9. Teams are sponsored and compete. In our early brainstorming about the general concepts underlying the term team, one of us noted to the other that our respective alma maters have rugby clubs. They are not specifically labeled officially as teams. a designation that distinguishes this sport from others.